you smirking at?
I don't know if I can read it. You can
Well,
maybe
I'll
read
read this out.
You read it. Decide if
Is
you can
this
read it out
United
loud.
Forever podcast?
It is, yeah.
Right, United Forever
he's
podcast
gone
in the
for it.
super chat says, on Premier League P-Take, Joe and Macca.
Let me give you some pre. We did a feature called "What Things More Brazilian Than Fred."
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
With the suggestion that he doesn't have the skill or the class of a typical Brazilian footballer.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, I'll start from the top. On Premier League Piss Take, Joe and Macca forgot to mention that if you shave a fanny with a butter knife, you get a better Brazilian than Fred. Phil. I don't know what goes... Well, I do know what goes on because I watch it. But we don't bring that Premier League Piss Take filth to this Transfers Live show, which is pretty much a news programme. So take your butter knife shaving fanny shit and sling it, you absolute degenerate. Thanks for your support, though, United Forever podcast, or your super chats are appreciated.
The word funny is so funny. It's so funny. It shouldn't be, and it's weird and it's demeaning, but
Mate,
my God, it's funny.
It is, come on.
Right, there's another super chat there,
I've got
Jack.
a few in I'm going to read before I got distracted by the butter shaving
It's
fanny
not
situation.
butter shaving.
The fanny shaving butter knife or whatever it was.
There you go.
James Samut says, would you be happy...
That used to be your wrestling nickname, didn't it?
James Samut.
No, Jay.
Oh,
the fanny
James.
shaving butter
Oh,
knife.
I thought you meant James Samut. Jay, the fanny shaving butter knife. Tell you what, it goes through them pubes like no one's business. God, you've just dragged me down to your level.
What
James,
are you even saying?
I don't even know. James Samut.
Yes, cunt lords and motherfuckers. This is the ultimate degenerate, Sam Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
Adam Shaggham, you okay?
Yes, mate, how are you? With your fucked up mouth.
Yeah, retarded mouth, but other than that, I'm good.
Getting over your tooth extraction. Oh, fucking hell.
Yes.
Happy New Year, mate.
Yeah, Happy New Year, yes. A brighter New Year.
Great stuff. Okay. Defo. So basically, this is a year with Paddock podcast. So we're celebrating, being official members of the Paddock community for over a year. And I'm going to apologise to our very small fan base for doing no pods during the month of December. So basically, you were working your ass off 7 days a week. What were you doing, mate?
Yeah. Well, pretending to be Postman Pat, I think. I'm not quite sure. It's all been a bit of a blur, you know.
No, I understand. So you've been
full on
delivering presents, right?
Yeah, delivering parcels
Oh, spice.
and lots of shit that people don't need, but it's all good.
Yeah, I know. People buy the most random shit nowadays. Anyway,
Oh, mate, honestly.
I couldn't do any pods, mate, because Howson had called me a tender snowflake, but basically I was mourning Ollie getting sacked, mate. I was sad as anything. Fucking worse than watching Bambi. But just to remind listeners, if they've been paying any attention to any of our podcasts, and if we've got any new listeners, basically we're two cousins with roots in a East Anglian village called Roe Hedge, not too far from where Cam's from. And we've not seen each other for various years now, for coming up 3 years, I think.
2 years.
I live over in Spain.
Years,
I've spent most... That's right. I've lived out here in Spain for nearly half my life now. And anyway, so basically this is a fan channel of a fan channel. So we're fans of Paddock, fans of United, and Paddock are a fan channel of United. So, yeah, we do stupid pods just to have, banter with some drinks together and stay in touch. But anyway, one of the most important things about this is to show some gratitude to the Paddock. Amazing content, great hosts, and we spend so many hours listening to them. And obviously we've never met them in person, but, you sort of befriend them. And I think I spend more hours listening to them than I do to my wife and kids.
Yeah.
Don't know about you, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck me. And
blessed release.
Oh, I'm just drinking some. I found a bottle of extra brute cava from last night, and it hadn't been finished, so I thought I'd finish it now. Do like a bit of bubbles
Why not?
because we do often share our bodily gases on our banter casts. So, in our last pod that we did last winter, we were sort of, we were showing again our gratitude to Stretford Paddock, but I did sort of make a promise to them, and I believe that I've been a good boy and I've fulfilled my promise by sending them numerous super chats over the year. Obviously, in aid to support the channel because they basically work full time for the community. And in order to refinance my funds, I decided to cancel my MUTV subscription and redirect the money to Stretford Paddock.
This is it.
Dear.
That's
So highlights,
that's pretty
mate.
good. Pretty good idea. That.
Yeah, defo. So fuck, what's his face? Woodward, the wanker, and he's eventually left, but he hasn't left. I mean, he's still going to be in the background pulling strings somehow, whether his pubes or something. But anyway, one of the good things about Paddock is obviously how they tried to remain as impartial as possible during the sort of downward trend towards the end of Ollie's career. It was bloody difficult because, I mean, in their line of work, they've got to deal with so much negativity in the chats and stuff.
That's it.
Even the super chats. And it's bloody difficult. But, I did appreciate, like, when Steve said ages ago that before he sees anyone else getting sacked, he wants to see Woodward, leaving first. So, well, that's come to fruition anyway. But another thing that hasn't really continued as much is, the great stuff that David Pritt did with the Academy Review. Amazing show.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've worked in education for God knows how many years. And I think what he had done last season was brilliant for the youth because it's just morale building and it just makes them excited and everything. However, what I do have, I know David Pritt did say in the show he did a few weeks back, he did say that he hadn't been doing many shows just because he hadn't been able to go to the matches, which is understandable. But what I really enjoyed is when he did sort of the Lone Report reviews, because I do show a great interest to see how our lads are doing, whether it's Dylan up in Scotland for Dundee United. I know he's been injured, but also following Jimmy down in the Championship. So it's great. I really enjoy sort of being updated by that. And then when moving on to the old banter side of stuff of the channel, we've got the Premier League piss take, mate. Funny as fuck, isn't it?
Say that again.
I said it's funny as fuck, isn't it? So I was just swinging on a bit of carver.
Yes, mate. No, I try and catch that as and when I can. But yeah, no, it's it especially like the last few months and stuff. When it was not been going brilliantly, we've been able to make light of a bad situation, and you know what I mean, and sort of
I mean, Also the satire and stuff with the old Big Bruce cutout. Defo, mate.
Yeah.
And fucking how's the bacon? Did you say? Oh, what the fuck have I just done? I've gone a little bit Irish. Apologies. I bet my Irish colleague Damo is thinking, what a twat. Oh dear.
Brilliant.
And also the better than Arteta era was enjoyable as fuck, mate. That was brilliant. But it's very frustrating that he's outlived Ollie,
Yeah.
But
This
anyway.
is it. But the better than the Arteta era, you can't forget the more Brazilian than Fred era as well, because that was quite a special moment.
Very, very special. And when old Joe Smith was crying his
Yeah.
eyes out after the super chat. Oh, that was so funny. Oh, and fucking Motty's voice as well, with his wrestler's voice. Oh, that was funny. Oh dear. And also when Howson's outside Old Trafford, he's given the transfer reviews like a boss. But do you know what? Why are there so many like cars with muzzlers driving around Old Trafford? You'd sort of think that was bloody somewhere like Jaywick or Greenston down south, you know?
That's it.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
Oh mate, I've got a daft joke for you. Ready? Hold on, I'm gonna have a swig of
Go
cava.
for
Do you need to have a swig on what are you drinking? Honey rum?
it. Yeah, honey rum, mate. Yeah, I've been sipping away.
Oh, fucking plus. Mate, I'm going to bring you a bottle over. So in springtime, because I can't obviously fly out because I've just lost so much money on lost flights, you know. But
Yeah.
when you come out to Portugal for my brother's stag, I'll bring you over a bottle of honey rum, okay? Do a bit
Yeah.
of contraband. And
That's it.
all right, so what do you call someone named Stephen on the 31st of December?
I don't know, what do you call him?
Someone called Stephen on the 31st of December.
I don't know.
Would you like to
Tell
phone a
me.
friend? Ask the audience.
50-50.
New Year's Steve. New Year's Steve. Sorry. So bad that it had to be done. Oh, mate, no, on a
mercy.
serious note, okay, listen. Do you know, you might think this is weird, but, you know, sometimes, you have a shit day from time to time, and, you like a bit of escapism.
Yeah.
And in our cases, because we have, like, no peace at home, whether we've got kids asking, Daddy, come and play with, with the toys and all this, with the bloody
Yeah.
Lego or Playmobil or whatnot, or your wife's asking you to fix something that you promised that you'd fix months ago and you still haven't done it, and you end up sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
So I like listening to, well, not just on the toilet. Sorry, Steve, I'm not trying to fucking insult you here, because you'll beat the shit out of me with your fucking army training. But basically, no, I do like listening to Howson's Histories of United podcasts. Fucking class,
Right.
sort of, especially the Busby Babe era and stuff. I've
Yeah.
just, there have been days where I've listened to the stuff on repeat, because it's just it's great stuff. And I did ask him in September if he was going to continue making the stuff. He did
Yeah.
say, he just finds it too difficult to do all the preparation,
Yeah. That's
which
fair
is
enough.
understandable. And also, he's got his work cut out with obviously the Paddock FC projects and all the different levels. But
Yeah.
if he ever had the time, and I do know that sometimes I think that I have people on work experience working with Paddock. Don't know if they could
Yeah.
help do some scripting and then just Steve narrates, but there's a lot of stuff that happened in the 80s, which is really interesting. Me and you were born in the 80s, and then,
Yeah.
we enjoyed the sort of the evolution of the club in the 90s. There's
Yes.
so much content, which, which would be great. So that's another petition there. So asking Prit to do the loan report review, and Steve to Renaissance to narrate some more histories of United in some of these pods. I know it's kind of underground stuff, but at the end of the day, and I know the audience isn't as big as the normal stuff, like his tactical
Yeah.
reviews and how he thinks the opponents will be set up. I completely appreciate all of that stuff, and it takes a lot of work. And someone else from Paddock that definitely needs a big clap is Cam. He's doing some great work behind the scenes. I think the editing in
Yeah.
general is great, and also the studio looks mint, very very classy.
Yeah, definitely.
Whoa, mate, that was a good one. So, moving on to Motti. Hold on, gonna have a swig of Carver. One thing that is brilliant about Motti is just how funny he is. He's funny as fuck, especially with this high-pitched laugh. It just makes me laugh so much. And he's brilliant at butchering names. He butchers names
Definitely.
like yours. When he said,
Yes.
instead of Adam Shagham, what did he call you?
Adam Shagham. I turned
Brilliant.
Turkish.
And also, yeah. Can I have a Shagham kebab, please? Sorry. Anyway, listen, I'd like to apologise to Motti for instigating pun parties in his live chats. And I do get Notch and Ross Murphy involved, and we do have a laugh, especially the time when it was Motti's birthday. We were doing the daftest Cherry Max theme puns, and
Yeah.
we were all getting giddy. And I ended up sending him a super chat, and I asked him a random joke, which was, "What do you call a virgin in a waterbed?"
I don't know.
Do you know the answer? A cherry float. And, and Joe Smith wasn't impressed. I do apologise, Joe Smith, but he sort of made reference to the 1930s, saying how it was a dessert enjoyed, decades ago. And then it sort of made me think that Joe Smith, on the quiet, must have some strange obsession with the 1930s, because he often makes random references to that era.
Maybe he's a secret historian of the 30s. Who knows?
Could be. Oh, mate. Oh, maybe he likes to read about the 1930s on Wikipedia when he sat on the throne instead of watching Harrison United History pods.
Listen, but going on a bit of a tangent right now. Cast your mind back many years ago when you were at uni, and I'll never forget
Yes,
this.
mate.
Right, this will be with me for the rest of my days. You cooked your flatmates a meal when you were in the towers, and you invited me over.
That's
and,
right.
What was the name of that lad who thought he was a secret Viking? What was his name?
Oh, David Polly. Yes, fucking nut
That's
job.
it.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And me and you were talking about Colchester United, and you said to me,
Okay.
"Are they playing?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're away at Torquay." And just out of the blue, this lad turns around and goes, "Do you know that's where they recorded Faulty Towers?" I was like, "Okay, I don't know what to do with that information."
Yeah.
And I was just like,
And there
"Okay,
was the
cheers."
guy. But do you know what he was doing at the
Brilliant.
time? He was holding his personal bin from his bedroom, right? And he was taking the contents out of that bin and putting them in the kitchen bin. And we were like, "David, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Obviously
Yeah.
emptying a bin." And I was like, "Have you never emptied a bin before and just put the contents directly into a rubbish bag?" He's like, "No."
Why would I
Mate, he
want to
was
do
weird as
that?
anything because his parents were like seances, and they would
Right.
apparently communicate with the dead, and they made a fucking good living out of that.
Oh, mate,
So,
honestly, yeah.
the things they do.
You know,
Weird
any
stuff.
medium
Oh dear.
is, yeah, I don't know. Is it real or is it
Yeah.
just scrounging off the poor? Not the poor, the gullible shit. I don't know.
The gullible.
It's I think I don't know.
Pigs in
That's
blankets.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
talking about
That's for a
regurgitating,
different day.
which is
Regurgitating. What?
courtesy of Santa Notch for reminding us. One of the funniest moments this year has to be in the Villarreal final watch along.
Yeah.
Andy Tay happens to say regurgitate And Stephen Harrison pissing himself. Oh, it was so
Fucking lost the
funny.
plot.
And you know, the other day I was watching that on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And I obviously had my headphones in and I was laughing so badly. I was just crying. And my wife was getting all pissed off with me because she was trying to watch Love Actually in peace on Netflix. It's like at
Oh
school when
dear.
you shouldn't laugh in class, but you end up
Yeah.
pissing yourself anyway. And it makes it funny. Oh dear.
Mm,
Now, I'll tell you something. Not you, because you already know about this, but to the community, if anyone listens to us weirdos, basically, we are big fans of the old school Joe Smith's Late Night Live shows. And,
yes.
you know, he'd get everyone involved with the old punnage. So, in our normal podcasts, you know, we take the piss out of the opposing players, you know, from teams. It could be past or present players. So, what we're going
Yeah.
to do is, well, I'm going to give you some winter or Christmas themed puns, okay? Using
Okay, go for it.
people from the Stretford Paddock, all right? So here
Yeah.
we go. For Stephen Howson, we got Snowman Plowson. For Adam McCullough, we've got Adam, 2 lumps of my coal. And I don't want Adam to get any sort of pissed off with us. There are no racial intentions, and I do have some Asian in me as well. So there we go. Just you
Yeah.
know, keeping things you know, what's the word, friendly. So for Jay Motti, we've got Slay Motti, and for Joe Smith. All right. So if you think about Smith, right, you've got like a sound at the end of the word. We've got a lisp effect.
Yeah.
So bear that
Yeah.
in mind. For Joe Smith, we got Snow Drift.
Brilliant.
For Alex Baggers, we've got Alex Baggers full of gifts. For Cam Waters, we've got Baby Sham Waters. And we got for Andy Tate, Andy Roast Taters.
Brilliant.
Oh, yes, mate. And we got a couple left. We got David Pritt. We got David Grit the Roads. And then and then for one of the main moderators, for Ross Murphy, we've got Frost Murphy. And then, you know, a friend from another United channel, we've got John from the United Sleigh.
Brilliant.
And last but not least, our dear friend and inspiration for punnage. Well, I'll say co-inspiration because Notch is just the fucking god at puns. We've got Santa Notches, Manscaped Scrotto.
Brilliant.
Oh, fuck me, mate. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Right, listen. Obviously, you know, we're going through a period of transition. So,
Yeah.
you know, my dad, I've argued so much with my dad lately over Manu's direction, but I'm going to try and be as democratic and what's the word, sort of open-minded as possible. So it's time to remain optimistic about the new era with Ragnick. So what
Yeah.
do you think about that, mate?
Yeah. I think a few. I can't remember what episode it was we were talking about the inevitability of Ollie being pushed out the door, and I swear I stated somewhere
Yeah,
that I wouldn't mind Ralph coming in, but I couldn't remember if
yeah,
it was as a
yeah,
manager or as a director of football. Anyway, either or, um,
yeah,
kind of got my wish in that respect because come the end of the season, yeah, you know, he's most likely going to go into the boardroom or whatever as a technical advisor. and it's like we were having conversations last week, I think it was, and you were like, you need some kind of hope, and I was like, well, the way you got to look at it is, this is going to be the United way now, for at least the next decade, in regards of how we're
Possibly. I
going to
mean, the
be.
bloke's 63.
Yeah, but
If
I
he's
don't,
willing to work until he hits 70.
maybe not directly through Ragnick, but there will be somebody that will have his philosophy. Hence, why he is changing his. The back room has changed dramatically in the last few weeks. So I think it's a case of basically that we're now going to be reading the Bible from the counter press now, rather than sit back and bend over, like we have done in previous regimes, whether it be Mourinho or Ollie, or even before that sort of thing.
Yeah, Louis. Yeah,
Yeah, Louis, and David Moyes, but it's the thing is, as humans, we don't like change, and especially the change that has happened because of what Ollie was in regards to legendary status at the club. And he had his haters from the get go. And to be honest with you, you can't. You can argue against what they were saying, but there wasn't any. Do you know what I mean? You can't really. The argument's not going to be fully complete because everybody's going to have their say on it. Now, I think the board have obviously, when Ollie was removed from position, they've got to look at the stopgap,
yeah,
and I think they've done right in hiring who they've hired. Um, and again, people can be like, well, what experience does he have as a manager? He is definitely a director of football and a technical advisor, whatever. But
yeah,
he has been places. He's seen the thing that what people have got to understand is he is very theory based. So most of the work that he will do will be watching, um, you know, getting the players to watch clips and snippets of how to press correctly and when to trigger a press and stuff like that. And I
yeah,
don't think we definitely haven't had that in previous managers in that respect, the theory side of things. And the fact that he's brought in
yeah.
am I correct in saying he's brought in a psychiatrist? Am I correct? Or am I,
A psychiatrist or a psychologist?
that's the one psychologist.
Well, I
I've gone
think
on that.
Slabhead and fucking Sir Jones needs a psychiatrist. But, oh, mate, you gotta have a laugh. Absolute
Yeah,
brilliance, mate. Oh,
so,
mate,
so
no,
you know, so he's going to help people round their game, I think. And who
yeah,
knows? But the only thing that I am concerned about is what's going to happen in the summer. Who are we going to bring in? I don't know.
yeah.
I
It's
think it'd
always
be
in
a
the back
case
of the
of
back of your mind. But I mean,
it is, it is, and I
if things
think
work out
whoever
well,
they bring in
you could stay on board for a few more seasons.
potentially, and I think whoever, if they do bring in somebody, they will have to,
Yeah,
that they will have full reign over the club, so to speak, but they will have to follow his philosophy. And if they don't follow that
yeah,
philosophy, then they won't be getting the job. Hence why we've
yeah,
seen a lot of people, like I just touched on, a lot of people coming into the back room that nobody's really heard of. But it's like what I said to you, it's
yeah,
not about, it's about the fact that they are following his philosophy and they know his philosophy, and they know all
And if
about.
they don't follow it, he'll press them against the wall with his giggle. Sorry.
His gegenpress. But so that's the thing. It's having the back room on the same, reading, singing from the same hymn sheet,
Yeah.
and I think, it hasn't been the most ideal 4 weeks that he's had at the club because obviously Carrington had to close down for a week and whatever, so he hasn't had the ability to get people where he wants them.
Yeah.
And we've had games postponed and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting. But
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I've got to be
optimistic in that
optimistic,
respect.
mate, because there's no point. There's no point being, a tender snowflake and sort of boiling your eyes out over Ollie being sacked. But I found it reassuring that they are in contact, and Ollie's made himself
Yeah,
available. Sort of, just give him a bit of help about which players sort of
yeah,
have different personalities and could work in different systems, which I think is nice, But anyway, and the
yeah,
final topic is nothing but praise for the Paddock FC project. Proper
yeah,
exciting. I mean, also Howson, I know that he made it public that he's struggled, with depression and stuff, and I think that this is great for him because it's always good to keep your mind occupied, and
yeah,
seeing his project bloom is brilliant. And when you
yeah.
sort of watch the Paddock FC documentary and how a lot of players have struggled to be reinserted
Yeah.
into the systems, fucking hell, mate, pigs and blankets.
Base.
No, I mean it's brilliant for them. It's great to get them reinserted into football and to help them get
Yeah.
scouted out again, which is great. So absolute brilliance to Paddock FC and praise. So hopefully, one day when I'm finally get to fly over to the UK, don't know when, maybe next decade, I'll be able to
Yeah.
see Paddock FC competing in the championship.
Well, you never know, mate. You never know.
Yes, mate. Right, give me a few, final words, mate, before we wrap things up. We've hit the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, but, as we've been saying, it's been a chance, given us a chance to get away from the norm, with all the stress of life, being able to listen to the Paddock and escape from the shit that has been flying about, and I'm guessing over the next 6 months they're going to be able to help us escape even more shit that we're going to have, with all the bullshit going on in the world and things. So it's nice to have, just to be able to, trick your mind into thinking things are better than they actually are. So yeah,
No, of course. No, definitely.
yeah. And on that
Great
note,
stuff.
really, it's over and out from me. On that,
Great stuff. And I'm going to end this pod with a funny video of Gary Neville doing a rave hack dance. So he must have stolen a bag of coke that Jay Motti had up in his loft from the yesteryears. All right, this is over and out from me, and I'll be speaking to you later, you chronic masturbator.